everybody, it's Christina from cardmakingmagic.com. Going to show you how to make some trifold cards just from a basic A4. And don't worry if you don't have a scoring board, it doesn't matter. If you take your A4 card and measure in 10 centimetres from each side, and then if you don't have a scoring board you can just use a mouse mat and a metal ruler. And if you measure in 10 centimetres and just make a little mark, and then you can use your bone folder and just gently score down the paper and then fold it into the centre and then just crease it nice and sharply. If you do that both ways, you then have a trifold card. Now if you fold that in and take that side off, that produces a DL card. And don't throw this away because you can always use that for a little notelet or a little thank you card. But what we're going to do here is make this into a different shape. Now you can measure in from there, but whatever you measure in from there, measure up from the bottom. And then if you take your ruler and join those up, you can just cut straight across and make a shape. But if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, then just take your craft knife and freehand just do a wavy line down the card. And then that will produce that kind of shape. When you fold it, you then have a very pretty little trifold card. You can decorate that any way you wish and it'll do for any occasion. Now another thing you can do with the trifold card is fold them in to the centre and then take each side panel and fold it back on itself. You now have that kind of a shape. You can use it that way around, or you can use it that way around and decorate it as you wish. But just to take that a step further, if you keep it with the open fold down and then bend each of these in to the centre on all four of the outside corners, and once you've done that, open it out, and what you're going to do is push all these inwards as that shape. Okay, so just push them in. And this now produces, I think it's called a diamond back card. But when you open it out, you now have this shape, which you can use either way round and decorate it as you wish. You can also trim these sides off to give you another shape. And you can do it with a ruler or you can do it freehand. And that will give you a pattern to the side. Okay, so that's another shape for you to do with your trifold card. With your trifold card, another card that you can make is to keep that piece fastened down, but in the centre of this you can either use your die cuts, and that's a bit too big. Use your die cuts and make an aperture in the card, and then now I'm just going to roughly cut a circle out. It won't be straight, it won't be anything fancy, but it just gives you the idea. Now once you've got your aperture in the central part, you can fill that with acetate or some mesh or some fancy paper, and when you fold that one back, you will have that shape with the coloured part or the aperture part filled in, and decorate it as you wish. So once you've glued this part down, you then have just a DL card, and this card gives you some idea of what I'm talking about. This aperture's been cut and it's been filled with mesh and then decorated up with some die cuts and some jewels and ribbons just to make a pretty card. But that gives you the idea of what I mean with this. And of course the central panel has been fastened down and a verse can be put on the other side. So there's the idea of that card. Now with this trifold card, we're going to make a little envelope that you can use as a gift envelope, and all these ideas you'll find on the website. But if you fold it in, one of the panels in, and you're going to put a double-sided tape or a glue just on the two outside edges and fold that in. So these now will be fastened together. And the top part of the card, if you find the centre and then just measure up from each of the edges, if you come up about 2 centimetres and then join each of the edges, this can then be trimmed away and that will give you that kind of a shape there. And in there of course you can put your gift vouchers or some money if you're giving money, and make that as a special gift itself. This one has been deckle edged. I've used fancy scissors on the edge of that one to fasten that one together, and this one has been used from some pretty paper, and I've used a border punch, and you can decorate them as you wish. Now all of these have been fastened down with little hook and loop dots, and if you put the 2 dots together and fasten one to one side, it doesn't matter which side, but keep them both fastened together, then when you close it and press it in hard, you'll know that they're both lined up then ready to be used again. And of course then they'll open and close as you need to insert whatever it is you're going to put in. But that's a pretty idea for giving gift vouchers or money. Another thing you can do with your trifold cards. And the last idea for your trifold card is to just fold it all in together and take just an ordinary household glass and place that so that it's on the top edge. Now I've already drawn one out and I've done it dark so that you'll be able to see it, but all you're doing is drawing around the glass and then taking your ruler and just making a line to either side. And then if you come down to the bottom of the card, if you measure 1.5 centimetres in and 1.5 centimetres up, you'll have this shape. And then once you've cut those shapes out, this is what you'll be left with. Not very neat, but you will of course do yours a lot neater. And then when you open this out, you have a screen card, which then you can decorate any way you want, but quite a pretty effect. Okay, so those are some things that you can do with an ordinary A4 piece of card that you've folded into 3.